And Japan, number 2, Renchi Choka. Number 4, Yoshinobu Takamasu. Number 5, Toki Urayama. Number 6, Rin Kawahara. Number 7, Takuya Furusawa. Number 8, Ryuta Kaishi. Number 13, Reo Fujimoto. Number 18, Ryohei Yamato. Number 25, Kei Akita. Number 26, Takayoshi Iwai. Number 41, Hideo Mikasuki. Number 55, Hiroki Ozai.
Please stand for the nation anthem of the Commonwealth of Australia.
Good afternoon from Bangkok in Thailand. We're at the Centara Life building here in Thailand. My name's Jerry Smith. We're going to be bringing you the game now between Australia and Japan. A important match in the early stages of the group competition here in Division 1 of the men's tournament. Having a look at the Australian side, at number 2 you've got Frank Pinder, number 3 Jalen Brown, number 5 Bill Latham, number 6 Stephen Elliott, 7 Lachlan Dalton, number 8 is John T. Brown, 9 Tristan Bowles, 10 is Blair, number 11 is Tom O'Neill Thorne, 13 Luke Popel, 18 Philip Evans, and of course number 23 there, Jeremy Tyndall. And they'll come up against the men in red from Japan. At number 2, Renshi Chokai. Number 4 is Yoshinobu Takamatsu. Number 5, Koki Maruama. Number 6 is Rin Kawahara. Number 7 is Takuya Furusawa. Number 8 there is Ryoga Akiyashi. Number 13 is Ryo Fujimoto. 18 is Rohai Miyamoto. Number 25, Kei Akita. Number 26 is Takayoshi Iwai. 41, Hideo Mikazuki. And number 55, Hirokai Kozai. Promises to be a interesting game here. Second game of the morning on court 1. New Zealand losing out to the Afghanistanis in the morning's first game here on court 1. So all to play for as we get ready to get this game underway. Of course, we're at the 2025 IWBF Asia Oceania Wheelchair Basketball Championships, serving as the qualifiers for next year's World Championships, which will take place in Ottawa, Canada. And action about to get underway here. Latham will win the tip for Australia, and first possession goes to the men in gold. Jalen Brown in possession. Instrumental player in the U23 World Championships in Sao Paulo earlier this year, and ball stolen away there from Brown's loose pass, and away come Japan. Shot goes up there from Kozai, but Japan will pick up the rebound. Kozai, shot clock running down, he'll have to get a shot up. Does so just in time, but rebound is gladly picked up there by the Australians. Number 11 for Australia, Tom O'Neill Thorne in possession. Plays it into the paint, and eventually at the second attempt Latham will convert for the Australians, and the first points of the game go to the men in gold. Long pass into the paint, but 3-second violation will go against Japan's number 2, Renshi Chokai. Jalen Brown will bring it up for the Aussies. Space opens up nicely for Brown, and Brown puts up the attempt, doesn't drop. Rebound collected there by Frank Pinder, and now long range three-pointer comes in there from Tom O'Neill Thorne. Rebound picked up by Japan. Kozai in possession for the Japanese. Chokai will play it back to their number 6 Kawahara, and Kawahara gets Japan's first points. 7:58 to play here in this first period. O'Neill Thorne in possession for Australia. Japan desperately trying to keep the Australians out, but Jalen Brown adds to the points. Japan, quick transition down to the other side of the court, and shot goes up there from Chokai. He is unable to make that count for Japan. Brown to Pinder. Pinder laying it off to Latham, and now O'Neill Thorne. Jalen Brown will have to put up the shot as the shot clock winds down. Short on that occasion. Neither side settling into any form of rhythm just yet in these early stages. Kozai in possession now for the Japanese. Trying to get past Jalen Brown, and manages to put up a 3. Doesn't land. Jalen Brown will bring it up for Australia. O'Neill Thorne in possession now. Plays it across to Bill Latham. Latham unable to sink that particular shot, and away comes Japan's number 8, Akaishi. And Akaishi levels the scores. 6:20 to play here in this first period. Scores all tied up. Pinder in possession now for Australia. Latham to Brown. Brown looking for some space. Plays it back towards O'Neill Thorne. Shot clock winding down. Brown puts up the 3, doesn't drop, and ball goes directly out of play. Japan will inbound. 5:56 to play. Akaishi plays it long to Kozai. Kozai will look to play in the number 4 there, Takamatsu, and Takamatsu takes Japan into a 2-point lead with 5:37 here left in this first period. O'Neill Thorne looking for options, decides to put up the 3 instead, and fortuitously for the Australians, rebound is collected, and O'Neill Thorne looking to drive into the paint, decides to play it out to Jalen Brown. Brown puts up the shot and levels the scores. Away comes Akashi, driving down the right hand side of the court, looking for Kozai, and much to the disappointment of the Japanese bench there, possession will go to Australia. Good bit of banter there between O'Neill Thorne and the Japanese bench. Kozai for Japan in the meantime. Plays it across to Takamatsu, back to Kozai. He puts up the 3 and lands it, so Japan edge in front. 4:34 to play in this first period. O'Neill Thorne, closely watched there by Chokai, and Latham now looking for Pinder, and Pinder converts for Australia. Kozai. Japan managed to break the full court press, but offensive foul It's going to go against Chokai. Good work there from Jalen Brown, stopping the progression of the Japanese. And timeout called by Japan. So Australia will pick up the possession. They inbound. Tom O'Neill Thorne will play it back to Brown. Brown back to O'Neill Thorne, and O'Neill Thorne unable to convert. Rebound collected there by Takamatsu. Chokai now with the possession for Japan. Kozai, and Japan will convert. Takamatsu. Pass up to the court to Bill Latham. O'Neill Thorne now for Australia. Almost had the ball stripped away there by Akayashi, and in fact Japan do pick up the steal, and on that occasion Chokai, and Chokai will play it to Akayashi, but loose shot from Akayashi on that occasion means that Australia will pick up the possession, and Frank Pinder unable to convert. He'll be disappointed with that one. And Kozai puts up a three. Doesn't drop. Japan trying to fight for the ball back, and jump ball will be called. And Japan will win the possession back thanks to the alternating possession arrow. So good hustle there from the Japanese. Akayashi will inbound for the Japanese. He'll pick up the return pass, and looking to set himself up, decides rather to play it across to Chokai. Chokai will play in the pass to Kawahara, and Kawahara unable to convert. So Australia with Bill Latham, long pass up towards O'Neill Thorne. He'll slow it down a bit to allow Pinder to get himself into the paint. And the rebound falls fortuitously for Australia. And tidied up there by O'Neill Thorne. Renshi Chokai now. And he puts up a shot, doesn't land, but he'll pick up his own rebound. Plays it out to Kozai. Kozai looking to get past O'Neill Thorne. Plays it to Chokai, and the shot goes up by Yoshinibo Takamatsu. Foul's going to be called against Australia's number 3 Jalen Brown, and that'll take Takamatsu to the line for 2. Takamatsu unable to add to the points total of the Japanese, and Australia now in possession. Number 18 there, Philip Evans. Evans will pick up the return pass from O'Neill Thorne, and Bill Latham looking to add to Australia's points, unable to do so. Number 9 for Australia, Tristan Knowles in possession now. O'Neill Thorne puts up a 3 and lands it for the Australians. So Australia back into the lead. 2-point advantage with 1:15 to play here in this first period. Chokai playing the quick pass to Takamatsu. Back to Chokai, and Japan will look to hit back immediately, unable to do so. Rebound picked up by Tristan Knowles, and he'll launch the ball to Tom O'Neill Thorne in possession now for the men in gold. 47 seconds left, and Renshi Chokai almost winning the ball back for the Japanese. Ball goes out of bounds though. Knowles plays it to Latham, and then Knowles will set himself up for the 3 and lands it for the Australians. So good passage of play there for the men in green and gold, taking themselves up to their 5-point advantage. Last 30 seconds of this period. Kozai in possession now for Japan. They'll look to try and strike back immediately. Not dropping for Takamatsu at the moment. Last opportunity for the Australians to add to the tally, and O'Neill Thorne will play it across to Knowles. Pass just a little bit high for Knowles. He puts up a hook shot, doesn't land for Australia. So at the end of that first period, Australia will take a 5-point lead going into the second, and we'll be back shortly. Second period about to get underway here in Bangkok. We're at the 2025 Asia Oceania Wheelchair Basketball Championships, brought to you by the International Wheelchair Basketball Federation Asia Oceania Zone. Australia holding a 5-point advantage at the moment in this game. Of course, this is men's Division 1 action. Tristan Knowles will get us underway. Plays it out to Philip Evans. Knowles will pick it up again. Foul is going to go against Renshi Chokai. Knowles plays it out to O'Neill Thorne. He'll play in good pass there towards Evans. Evans unable to make that one count. So away comes Kozai for Japan, the number 55 in possession. And a shot goes up there from Chukai, but foul's going to be called against Australia's number 10 there, Yannick Blair, just nudging the chair of Renshi Chukai, so Chukai will go to the line. Chukai takes the deficit down to the 3 points. Tristan Knowles will launch the pass up to Tom O'Neill Thorne. O'Neill Thorne with a quick pass to Bill Latham. Latham takes Australia now up to 18. And Renshi Chukai looking to make something happen here for Japan. Trying to encourage the referee to call for the foul there. Nothing going. Australia will come away with the possession. Tom O'Neill Thorne in possession. Pass towards Latham. Latham unable to gather it. And a quick transition here from Kozai, coast to coast, takes Japan to within 3 once again. Australia's O'Neill Thorne puts up the 3, doesn't drop, and Japan unable to initially pick up that possession, but Australia turn the ball over, so Japan will inbound deep inside their own half. And loose pass there from Akayashi gives the possession straight back to Australia. Knowles inbounds it to Philip Evans. Evans gives it back to Tristan Knowles. Knowles looks like he wants to put up the 3, fakes the Japanese defense, plays in Yannick Blair. Blair unable to convert. And a quick turn of speed there from Ren Kawahara. Now Renshi Chukai. And converted there by Kozai, so Japan to within 1. 7:43 to play here in this first half. And ball will come off the hands of Takamatsu on that occasion. Substitution for the Australians. Jalen Brown will enter the game. Knowles will go off, as well as Philip Evans. Back onto the court comes Jeremy Tyndall for the Australians. Jalen Brown. Japan defensively making it difficult for the Australians to find their space. But great work there from Australia's number 10, Yannick Blair, and he takes Australia up to 20. We have 7:15 to play here in this first half. Australia pressing with the full court press. Japan though found their way over the halfway line. Akayashi to Kozai. Kozai will play it across to Chukai. Chukai's attempt doesn't drop, and Japan come away with the rebound though, and Chukai will try and tidy up. Just a little bit loose on that occasion. hasn't found his rhythm has the Japanese number 2, Renshi Chaeng. Of course, dangerous player when he's on song. Japanese coach Kayora taking off Chaeng. Just give him some time to regain some composure. In the meantime, the Australians with Jaylen Brown extending that lead out to 5 points now. We have 6:30 to play in this first half. Akayashi plays it long to Kozai trying to get through, just hits the ball onto the wheel of one of the Australians, and Australia pick up the loose ball. Latham will put up the shot, doesn't drop on the first occasion, tidies up his own, and timeout will be called by the Japanese coach Kayora. So 24 to the Australians, 17 to Japan. Kozai in possession now for the Japanese. Plays it out to Takamatsu, and Takamatsu banks it in to narrow that Australian lead back down to the 5-point mark. Almost halfway through this second period, Latham will pick up the easy conversion. Kozai for Japan, and he'll slow it down so that his teammate Murayama can get back up. Jaylen Brown for Australia. And Latham now in possession. Brown looking for space. Japan close him down, and pass going out to Jeremy Tindall. Tindall just took his eye off the ball as that pass came in, and Japan will regain the possession. Takamatsu finds Kozai, and referees just will stop the play. Substitution Australia. Pinder will check back in, and the other player coming back into the court is Philip Evans. Kozai to Akayashi. Akayashi shot doesn't drop. Jaylen Brown picks up the loose ball. drives down the left-hand side, decides to move back into the middle. Progress stopped there by Kozai, and foul's going to be called against, I think it was Japan's number 6 there, Kawahara. Or a smile from the Japanese number 6, the guilty party. O'Neill Thorne puts up the 3 and lands it for Australia. So Australia find themselves now with that 10-point lead. 4:22 to play here in this first half. And, foul's going to go against, I think it was Latham on that occasion, stopping the progress of Furusawa. Furusawa in possession now for Japan. Japan will want to keep the scoreboard ticking over. Don't want to let Australia pull away too much, but just not managing to trouble the scorer at the moment. And foul's going to go against Jalen Brown by the looks of it. And that'll send Ryuga Akahashi to the line. Akaishi converts the first, and one would think that Japan would need to make the most of any free throws that they do manage to get to stay in touch here. And duly obliging on that occasion is Akaishi. Pinder passes the ball back to Brown. O'Neill Thorne now in possession for Australia. Brown breaking down the left-hand side, and O'Neill Thorne tidies up his initial shot and converts on the second attempt. So we're moving towards the final 3.5 minutes here in this first half. 10-point advantage still for Australia. And 3-point attempt goes up there by the number 13. Fujimoto. Furusawa to Akaishi, back to Furusawa. Furusawa, Japan unable to get the shot up. 24-second violation goes against the men in red. So good defensive work there from the Australians, applauded by their supporters here. Knowles to O'Neill Thorne. Finds Paul Latham. Latham and Pinder, the only two up that side of the court for the Australians, but Tristan Knowles finds some space, drives in, probably looking for the foul, doesn't come initially. And not quite sure if the referee has called the foul. Nope. Japan. Yes, foul has been called, but offensive foul goes against the Australians. Akaishi in possession now for Japan. Looking to get past Evans, he does so, and Latham will be called for the foul, sending looks like Maruama, the number 5 for Japan, to the line. timeout over, and to the line is Koki Maruyama for Japan. Good spirit between these two teams, as you can see Tom O'Neill-Thorne and Ryoga Akihashi sharing a laugh about something. And, Maruyama unable to add to Japan's score just yet, looking to convert on the second attempt. Julia Blager, so 2:39 to play here in this first half, 9-point advantage for the Australians. And Australia now in possession with Tom O'Neill-Thorne. Tristan Knowles back to O'Neill-Thorne. Plays it back to Knowles. Knowles will look to play, and Evans does so, and Evans will extend Australia's lead now. 33 plays 22. 11-point advantage for the green and gold. Takuya Furusawa unable to hit straight back for Japan, and Jalen Brown will bring it up for the Australians. Plays the long pass to Tom O'Neill-Thorne. O'Neill-Thorne slows down the play, looks towards Brown. Brown back out to Tristan Knowles. Knowles puts up the three. Short on that occasion. Rebound collected there by Fujimoto. Now in possession, Akahashi. Akahashi plays it to Kawahara now. Number 13 for Japan puts up the shot there. Fujimoto doesn't land. Foul against Maruyama. That'll take Australia to the free throw line. Both teams in foul trouble at the moment, so opportunity for Tristan Knowles to further extend the Australian lead. Converts both, so Australia now up to 35. We have 1:17 to play in this first half. Japan not out of it, of course, but one feels Australia now starting to take a firm grip of this particular game. Quick hands there between O'Neill-Thorne and Brown, and foul's going to go against Akahashi. Nope, the foul was against one of the Australians. Didn't see who it was, but that'll take Japan to the line. Furusawa unable to convert on the first. He'll look now to take Japan up to within 12. 1 minute 10 to play here in this first half. Pinder to Brown. Brown will launch it up the court to Tom O'Neill Thorne. And Thorne looking for some space, finds Evans. Evans a little bit too strong. And Tom O'Neill Thorne tidies up for Australia. So Australia 37, Japan 23. Final minute of this first half. Furusawa thought about driving there against Knowles, but decided against it. And Japan looking to put up the three. They do. Short. And Australia will pick up the possession. Frank Pinder will be fouled by number 13 there, Ryo Fujimoto, and Pinder will go to the line. Pinder unable to add to the Australian score, so Japan will look to finish off the half. Can they make it count though? And opportunity now for the Japanese number 6, Kawahara. Short, ball goes out of bounds, so that'll be the end of the first half here in Bangkok at the 2025 IWBF Asia Oceania Wheelchair Basketball Championships. Australia lead Japan by 37 points to 23. We'll be back shortly for the second half. apologies for the break in sound. Second half action underway here in Bangkok. Australia lead Japan by 37 points to 23. Men's first division matchup here at the 2025 IWBF Asia Oceania Wheelchair Basketball Championships. Qualification for the IWBF World Championships taking place in 2026 in Ottawa, Canada. Jaylen Brown in possession for Australia. Latham to O'Neill Thorne, has to put up the three-point attempt as the buzzer goes, and great work there from Tom O'Neill Thorne. Takes Australia out to 40 points. And Kozai heading back straight away. 15-point advantage for the men in gold. Jaylen Brown will pick it up and drive down the left-hand side of their court. And O'Neill Thorne puts up another three attempt, but short on that occasion. Wakayashi in possession for the Japanese now. And Kozai putting up the three. Latham will come away with the ball for Australia. Brown finds Latham, but Latham just a little bit out of position there, and Japan will come away with it. And good work there from Renshi Chokai, converts for the Japanese, draws the foul, and that foul goes against Jaylen Brown, and it'll take Renshi Chokai to the line. That attempt there from Renshi Chokai narrows that Australian lead down to the 12-point mark. So mini little fight back there from Japan, but Australia now with Tom O'Neill Thorne controlling the possession. Latham looking for some space. Good work though by Japan, and Takamatsu wins it back for the Japanese, and was a little bit over extravagant on that attempt, but good fighting there from Takamatsu, wins the ball back, converts, and draws the foul out of the Australians. So good mini fight back here from Japan. Another foul goes against Jaylen Brown, and looking across, that will be Brown's third foul by the looks of it. So can Takamatsu reduce the Australian lead down to 9 points? He's unable to, but the rebound falls in the hands of the Japanese. Kozai in possession now. Kozai plays it over the key, and Takamatsu unable to convert. Rebound picked up by Jaylen Brown. O'Neill Thorne in possession now for Australia. Plays the ball to Jalen Brown, and Brown converts for Australia. Kozai. Six is Kawahara. Now Renshi Chokai plays it out to Kozai. And Kozai in and out. Rebound collected by Jalen Brown. Plays it out to Tom O'Neill Thorne. And Thorne gets past the attentions there of Takamatsu. Drives into the paint. Will be fouled. Shot goes up. That will count. So great work there by Australian number 11, Tom O'Neill Thorne. Foul goes against Ryoga Akaishi. Referees indicating that that foul happened before the shot went up, so no additional points there for the Australians. Jalen Brown, though, off balance there, picks up the ball, puts it up, and good work there by Jalen Brown. Takes Australia up to a 14-point lead. Timeout's going to be called by coach Kazuyuki Koya from Japan. Japan in possession now. Renshi Chokai. Akaishi to Kozai. Kozai looking to play Akaishi. Akaishi will find Renshi Chokai. He plays in pass to Marayama, but good defensive work there from the Australians, not allowing Japan the opportunity to get the shot up. 24-second violation goes against the men in red. Latham picks up the ball for Australia. Now Jalen Brown waiting for support from O'Neill Thorne, and O'Neill Thorne, with as much time as you could ask for, takes Australia up to 46 points. And we move towards the final half of this period. Once again, good work by the Australian defence. This time Evans grabs the possession back for Australia. Jalen Brown launches it up the court, finds Bill Latham. Latham looking for some space, but covered on that occasion by Akaishi. Brown will need to put up the shot. 24-second shot clock winding down. And the rebound is picked up by Tom O'Neill Thorne. So he will find Bill Latham, and Latham uncharacteristically unable to convert, but Pinder picks up the loose ball. Good work there by the Australian number 2, and he eventually plays the ball into Latham, but Latham in the zone for too long. 3-second violation called against the big Australian number 5 there. Renshi Chokai now for the Japanese. Kozai puts up the shot. Rebound's going to be picked up by Akaishi. Closely watched there by by O'Neill Thorne. He was pleading to the referees to blow for the 3-second violation. Referees not interested on that occasion. In the meantime, Brown will pick up another foul. And I think substitutions made by the Australians. Kozai puts up the 3 and lands it for Japan. So 13-point deficit for Japan to claw back. But Australia, with Jaylen Brown in the meantime, will look to strike a right back. Latham working there with Yannick Blair, and Blair doing some good work for the Australians, and Brown puts up the long range 3. So good work from the Japanese defence on that occasion, restricting Australia to a long range attempt. Kozai now brings the ball up for Japan. 3:35 to play here in the third. And, number 7, Furusawa back to Kozai, puts up the 3, short on that occasion. Latham picks it up. Foul's going to go immediately against Ryogo Akayashi. And Akayashi picks up another foul there. It's his third. So Akayashi for Japan and Brown for Australia found themselves on 3 fouls apiece. Loose ball there from O'Neill Thorne, picked up by Renshi Chokai, and will find Akaishi across to Kozai. Kozai puts up a shot, and Japan claw themselves up to the 35-point mark. 11 points advantage for Australia. Japan not letting go of the Australian shirt tails, holding on. 3-point attempt unsuccessful there by Kozai. Timeout is going to be called by Australian coach Brad Ness. So good period so far for the Japanese. They have had 2 passages of play here, which has sort of seen themselves work them back into the game, but Australia still with that lead, and we are moving towards the second half of this period. O'Neill Thorne will find Tristan Knowles back to Bill Latham. Japan looking to make it difficult for the Australians. Almost a great piece of work there from Knowles, but actually allows Japan to launch an attack which they convert. So all of a sudden Japan clawing their way back into this encounter. O'Neill Thorne. Jeremy Tyndall looked like he had a bit of space there, but closed up there by Kozai. O'Neill Thorne finds some space, quickly plays it to Yannick Blair. Knowles will need to get the shot up. He does, short. And Renshi Chokai will find Ryuga Akaeshi. Kozai puts up another 3 and lands it. So all of a sudden, 6-point game. Good work here from the Japanese. Five-second call goes against the Australians. Looks like that was Jeremy Tyndall. So giving the possession straight back to the Japanese. Not quite part of the script, I would have thought, for Jeremy Tyndall. But Japan applying a bit of pressure now on the Australians, and Renshi Chokai puts up the shot. No damage though for the Australians, as Brown will pick up the possession and he will draw the foul. The foul is on Koki Maruyama. O'Neill Thorne will find Bill Latham, the top of the key. Latham back to O'Neill Thorne to Brown. Brown to O'Neill Thorne, and now Latham. And the whistle goes. Foul is going to go against the Japanese number 7 there, Takuya Furusawa. They will send Latham to the line. Latham frustrated with himself for not converting on that occasion. Sets himself up and takes Australia now to 47. Final minute of this third period. Japan will look to narrow that deficit down to the 5-point marks if they can. Renshi Chokai now puts up the shot. In and out, doesn't drop, and Kozai unable to tidy up for the Japanese. Foul will go against the Japanese, and Australia will go to the line for 2. Chaeng Brown takes Australia up to an 8-point lead. And make that 9. 41 seconds to play here in this third. Chokai for Japan finds Kozai. Kozai will play it back to Fujimoto. Fujimoto takes Japan up to 42. Final 25 seconds of this period. And Tom O'Neill Thorne will slow the play down. Jalen Brown puts up the 3. Lands it for the Australians, and much to the delight of the Australian support here in the arena. And have Japan got one last shot? They do get it up, but that won't land. So 10-point advantage for Australia leading into the final quarter. We'll be back shortly. And the final quarter underway. Brown will inbound it to Tom O'Neill Thorne, and he picks up the return pass. Brown launches it towards Bill Latham. Back to Brown. And Tom O'Neill Thorne will put up the three. Short, the rebound picked up by Pinder, and he finds Latham. Japan doing well to snatch the ball away from Latham on that occasion, and good work by Brown. Almost stole it back for Australia. Kozai puts up the three. Short, and ball goes straight out of bounds. One would say that Hirokai Kozai needs to just settle the play a bit. Doesn't need to rush up these three-point attempts that he's throwing up at the moment. Plenty of time left in the game for Japan to chip away at that Australian lead. In the meantime, they need to stop the efforts of Jaylen Brown, which they do initially, but foul is going to go against Renshi Chokai. So Jaylen Brown, 2 free throws. Brown 2 from 2 on that occasion, so 12-point advantage for Australia. Hirokai Kozai in possession for Japan. And, passes it to Murayama, and Renshi Chokai puts up the shot, doesn't land, and Latham will launch the long pass towards Tom O'Neill Thorne. Apologises to his teammate, asking too much of the Australian number 11 there, Tom O'Neill Thorne. And Hirokai Kozai brings the ball up for Japan, looking for options. Nothing presenting themselves, but loose pass from Japan. Jaylen Brown steals it back for Australia. Good work from the Aussie number 3 there, and opens up nicely for Tom O'Neill Thorne, and he'll drive through, picks up the foul in the meantime, goes to the line. Basket will count, so foul's going to go against Renshi Chokai. It's his second foul of the game. O'Neill Thorne extends the Australian lead out to 15. Kozai for Japan. Showing a bit too much of it to Tom O'Neill Thorne, and great work there by the Australian number 11, almost winning the ball back. Shot clock sounds, but the shot did go up in time. Rebounds collected by the Australians, and that foul will be called against Hiroaki Kozai. Australia get this position underway here. Jalen Brown in possession for the Aussie Rollers, and Latham unable to convert. Japan come away with it now. Kozai. Not much for Kozai in terms of space there, so plays it back to Renshi Chokai. Kozai back to Chokai. Chokai will put up the shot. Doesn't drop. Latham with the rebound. Away goes Jalen Brown once again for Australia. Looking for space. Fakes and drives into the zone. Great work there by Jalen Brown. Takes Australia up to 59. Chokai in possession for Japan. Offensive foul is going to be... Yep. Didn't quite see who that foul was on. I think it was Jalen Brown, which means that's his fourth. So Australia will bring him out of the game for the minute. Looks to get something going here for Japan, and Hiroaki Kozai converts for the Japanese. Australian team manager Thomas Kyle in a bit of action there. Great servant of the game is Tom Kyle for Australia. I'm sure his wife Jane will be tuned into this broadcast, so hello Jane. And Tristan Knowles puts up the shot. Rebound's going to be collected by the Japanese, and away comes Renshi Chokai. Hiroaki Kozai takes Japan up to within 13 as we move into the final 6 minutes of this game. And Anil Thorne is going to be fouled. Anil Thorne asking the referee for an unsportsmanlike, but the referees will confer. Holding foul. Holding foul is the final outcome. Latham for Australia, he'll put up the shot, banks it in. 5:30 to play in the game. Australia maintaining their healthy advantage. Time running out for the Japanese if they wish to get something out of this game. One thing's for sure, Japan will leave it all out on the court, and Koki Moroama unable to convert. But Japan still in possession. Kozai. Shot clock running down, and Koki Moroama unable to convert, but somehow Japan come away with it once again. Chokai. And Kozai will eventually tidy up for Japan, so they move up to 48 points. Final 4 minutes 40 left of this game. And space now for the danger man, O'Neill Thorne. He's not going to miss those opportunities. Australia edging their way towards their first victory of this competition. Kozai in and out, rebound picked up though by Australia. Knowles will bring it up. Justin Knowles. Bill Latham. Back to Tom O'Neill Thorne. Quick pass into the paint where Philip Evans converts again for the Australians. And Japanese coach Kazuyuki Koya has called for the timeout. So just over 4 minutes to play here in this game. Australia lead 65-48. So final 3:51 to play here in this game. Japan desperately looking to stage a late comeback if they can, but they'll have to finish just about everything they put up. Fortunately for them, they have another opportunity to regain the possession as a loose ball pass across court goes straight out of bounds from the Australians. Number 41 for Japan there is Mikazuki. Finds Furusawa. Mikazuki closely watched there by O'Neill Thorne, putting him under pressure. Eventually gets a shot up, but a rebound's going to be picked up there by Jeremy Tyndall. Tyndall finds O'Neill Thorne, and O'Neill Thorne plays it to Jonty Brown, who gets some action on court, and Brown will convert. Foul's actually going to be called against Tom O'Neill Thorne, offensive foul. And that should be the last action of Tom O'Neill Thorne's game, as Brad Ness brings on Yannick Blair. Japan will edge their way up to the 50-point mark, so 17-point advantage for Australia as we move into the final 2:45 of this encounter here in the men's Division 1 pool stage game. And Jonty Brown took too long, showed too much of it to the Japanese, but Australia win it back. Brown to Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown's attempt doesn't drop. Japan long pass out to Murayama, and now shot goes up there by Mikazuki, but Australia will pick up the possession once again. Luke Popel now getting some action, and Popel will scoop that in, and Australia edging towards the 70-point mark, final 2 minutes of the game. Quick wheel change there for Koki Maruyama. Furusawa for Japan plays it across the zone, and now the number 41 for Japan, Mikazuki, unable to get the shot up in time, so 24-second violation. And Australia will pick up their first win of this 2025 IWBF Asia Oceania Wheelchair Basketball Championships. Jaylen Brown will slow the possession down for Australia. Try and just use up as much time as they can. Loose pass though on that occasion by the Australian number 13 there, Luke Popel. And Furusawa will take Japan up to 52. Just consolation points for the Japanese. Popel will put up the three, bounces off the front of the ring, and Mikazuki lays it back to Furusawa. Furusawa back to Mikazuki. Good work though from Mikazuki, off balance, gets the pass out, and Furusawa lands the 3 points. So final 42 seconds left here in this game. Good work there from Yannick Blair, just lobbing the ball over the defence. Japanese foul goes against Kei Akita, the number 25. Big tall number 25 there for Japan is Akita. And good work there from Popel, takes the Australian points tally up to 71. Final 35 seconds of the game. The big man, Kei Akita, will take the Japanese up to 57. Miyamoto illegally impeding Jaylen Brown, so Brown looking to add to his points tally. Ball in and out. Brown converts the second attempt. So the final 10 seconds of this game. Australia pick up their first victory. And Japan will put up the one final shot. Brown will find himself ejected from the game as he impedes the Japanese number, I think it's the number 6 there, Kawahara. So 5 fouls for Jalen Brown, and Kawahara will try, sorry, it's actually Moriyama, the number 5. And just looking for some consolations points here. That should be the end of the game. The score table didn't start the clock, but definitely Japan had the possession, so that'll be the end of the game. Australia have beaten Japan by 72 points to 57 to grab their first victory, much to the joy of the Australian support here in the Centara Life Arena. And we'll be back a bit later with more commentary. Next up on Court 1 is the matchup between Iran and China, followed by Korea and Thailand. So for now, Jerry Smith saying goodbye.